Welcome back to Phillips Hot Rod Garage. Oh man. All right, so I got my buddy Eric back with me today, and we're working on the Mustang again. As you can see, we got some stuff going on back here in the back of the car. Eric has kind of got ahead of the game here. He's kind of impatient. He just wants to get the work done. Ain't that right, buddy? So yeah, guys, I'm out here trying to make a video, and Eric, he's talking about, let's just get it done. So anyway, let me put the camera down. Let's get to work. Well, first let me show you what we're doing. We're gonna go ahead and put some of this on there. Ain't that right, buddy?
That's right.
Oh yeah. Nope. Now, this is gonna get the car going like I want it to. Maybe about 75 horsepower worth of nitrous to begin with, and then probably step it up to 100 and maybe 150 shots, see what the car's got. But definitely we gotta put some sticky tires on the car. And before we can put some sticky tires on it and put all this power to it, we got to do some work on the torque boxes on the car. The torque boxes are in pretty rough shape. They've been beat on pretty hard through the years. Car's been run kind of hard. So we're going to go ahead and fix those. So let me show you what we're going to do with those. All right, so we got some torque box reinforcements here. These are for the lower torque boxes. I'm gonna go ahead and open them up if I can. I'm trying to do this one-handed here and hold the camera. All right, there we go. These plates are going to weld to the inside of the car. These plates go on the outside. There's all the hardware. Those go into the lower torque boxes. And then this is the upper torque box set. I'm not going to open those up right now, but you'll see those here shortly. So what we've got to do is we got to get this interior completely out. The top of the back seat's got to come out. Eric's already pulled out the bottom. Got to pull the front seats. Carpet's got to come out. Everything's got to come out, because we've got to do welding in the car. So after the torque boxes are done, I got a complete rear suspension package to go up under this thing, new control arms, all of that. And I got new exhaust to go under there. There's a lot that's got to be done, so let's just go ahead and get cranked off. You ready, Eric?
I'm pretty ready.
All right, I think you've been ready for about 45 minutes waiting on me messing with the video, right?
I'm just trying to get us ahead.
All right, let's get at it. You got it? All right. That's it, buddy.
Man, I'm rich.
You found some money?
Man, I found a whole dime.
Ooh.
If I had eyes that could see, I'd tell you what year it is. Probably a 93 model.
All right, there's the carpet, and as you can see, it is quite filthy, and it's also faded out in that area right over there. So I may not even put that back in. I was going to clean it up real good, but now I'm having second thoughts. I may just buy some new carpet. We'll see what happens. And we're learning a few things about the car in here. It is factory strawberry red, definitely factory. You can tell it is a factory 5-speed car because it has the hump right here for the stick shift cars. It is a factory stick shift. And we found some non-factory cut wiring. Don't have any idea what that goes to. We got to figure that out.
Well, it's the connector delete.
Connector delete.
Yeah. Yes,
for
sir.
Maybe
well,
power seat.
Weight loss.
Oh, wait a minute. I know what that's for, buddy.
What's that for?
That is for the fuel pump relay. Doesn't the fuel pump go under the relay, go under the seat on these cars, under the driver's seat?
Yes, it does.
I don't know on a 92. I know it did on the older ones. So they may have bypassed the fuel pump relay for some reason. I don't know. That's something to look into. We'll figure that out. So I'm gonna check over this floor pan real good and make sure everything's good with it. But we got to get this stuff out back here and get started on those torque box reinforcements.
We're gonna have to.
What'd you find?
We're gonna have to reinforce this seat mount right here.
Got a crack right here.
Pretty bad.
That is very common on a Mustang that's been run pretty hard for that to break. That is very common. Put a lot of pressure against the seats and it'll break that area. But yeah, we'll reinforce that. That won't be too big of a deal. I've had some cars in the past that were welded up right there. So other than that, it looks pretty good. So we're gonna get cranked off on getting that area cleaned up back there. All right, so we got the car up on the lift. What we got to do is pull the wheels and tires off, and then we got to pull the control arm loose right here on each side. And what's going to happen is once we get the control arm out, get this bolt out, is we're going to put a torque box reinforcement plate right into this area right in here. It goes in, bolts to the floor pan, and bolts through this bolt hole right here. And then once we get that in, we're going to weld it, and then we're going to weld up all the seams on the torque box around here. So it's going to be a lot of work because we've got to get all this stuff cleaned and prepped and ready. As you can see, there's some primer on there from where we already have welded some of it up in the last video on the car. We welded some of that up in the last video. We worked on it. Now what we got to do is put some upper control arm reinforcements in also right up in that area up in there. So you guys will see how they all go once we get started on them. Got plenty of spider webs. Look at that. So there we go. Let's get started on it. They should not be that hard to get out. There we go. You know what I better do? Better put some of these tools in the trunk in case I ever get out on the road and need to pop these off because...
Yukon gear and axles?
Yeah, got some Yukon axles in there.
How about that? Where is your lug nut tool? Did you take it out?
It's over there, okay. Yeah. There we go. Wow, those things are too hard to get out. Just no reason for those to be quite that tight. It didn't take much.
Sure, I'll hold it.
Hold my hammer. Got it. Finally. All right, so we got the control arm out and we are ready to put this reinforcement bracket in. Now I've seen people do crazy stuff like come in here and cut all this out to get this piece in. No. And that is ridiculous. All you do, slide it in like that, twist it, and it's in there. I mean, just that easy. So what we're gonna do now is put the bolt back in the hole that held the control arm in right here. And then right up inside there, you can see there's 4 holes that had to be drilled up through the floor pan. Once those holes are in, or those holes are drilled, and we get the bolts up through there, there's another plate goes on the top. Right here. So what we do is once we get all that bolted in, this plate will sit in from the top of the floor pan. We'll bolt it together, then we'll weld it up, and it'll be done.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
Just like that.
Just like that.
That fast, too.
All right, it's time to let the car down, bud. So you can see right here the holes that I drilled earlier. So what we're going to do is take this plate right here, line it up with those 2 holes, drop a couple of bolts down through there. And then you can see what's got to happen. And drill those 2 right there. They should line up perfect. So, what do you think, Eric?
Well, I think we need to drill it and put it together.
I think it'll work. Let's do it.
After we take it back apart and put some well-through primer.
Yeah, we got to put some primer and paint on there and all that stuff. So, all right, let's do it. Do that one. Move out of place. No, that's good. That's good. Okay, go ahead. Hey,
that's how you do it.
Pop the whole thing back off of there, buddy. That's good. We'll just make sure they all line up now, and then if they do, we'll be in good shape. That's it. Now, we got to take a mark around this so we know where to clean this material off, because we're going to weld this in. So what we're going to do is mark around it far enough out that we can clean this insulation off, or sound deadener material. I guess that's what it is, sound deadening material. We'll get all that cleaned off and everything ready to weld. So that's what we're doing next.
I think we'll take it all the way out. Heat from welding it probably
Just go out about 1 inch or so past it. At least 1 inch past it. Just go ahead and mark the whole thing, even where there's none of that stuff at, so we can know where to grind it.
But that's a pretty straight line, isn't it?
Oh yeah, that's beautiful.
We'll just take all this out, because from welding it, the heat's going to buckle in anyway.
Looks good to me. Should be it, right?
Yeah, it's scored. It'll break off.
All right, let me grab a scraper. Oh, you already got it without a scraper, didn't you?
Pretty much. It's pretty loose.
Yeah, I told you that stuff wasn't going to be stuck very well. Every one of these I've done, it has always been very easy to get loose.
Some of it stuck very good.
I think that might be where the seat sits down against it. Oh yeah. All right, you think we can just tuck that insulation up in there and not have to cut it off? We might just be able to tuck it. Yeah, there we go. You know what? I think that whole thing's out of place anyway.
Yeah, it's a little bit too low. It's dropped down.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I'm gonna have to fix that later.
Let's get a shop vac and clean this up.
All right, time for the shop vac. All right, so now let's put that plate back on. Get some marks where we got to grind it. And then we'll be ready to paint that stuff. Or actually, we're going to use some weld through primer on that. That's what we're going to do. And then we're going to bolt it down and it'll be ready to weld. Then we got to do this other side before we start welding, because I'm just going to go ahead and bolt both sides in and then we'll start welding it all at the same time. That'll work better for me. Alright, there we go. Ready to grind. I just stuck my finger in it. That's not what I should have done. Okay. Trying to do this in a hurry, so I'm not giving it time to dry between sides. All right, that ought to be good enough. I don't have to flip that because that's going to be to the top. So we're ready to go. We'll go ahead and give that a couple minutes to dry. This stuff dries pretty quick, and then we'll go ahead and bolt them back in and they're ready to weld.
Not sponsored.
Not sponsored by Eastwood. All right, that ought to be good enough, buddy. That ought to do it. One of us can lay on the creeper under the bottom and hold the bolts while the other one of us tightens them from the top.
That is backwards.
Nope.
There you go.
No, I know what I did. I got it upside down.
Turn it around. No.
My goodness, dude. How does it go?
Just like that.
That's how it goes. All right. Let me get the light.
You don't need the light. You need the bolts lined up.
Can't see anything, guys. But he's got to work in there, so it's going to block the view. Nothing I can do about that. Looks like you're getting close with it.
Getting close.
Got it?
Man, that feels good.
All right. Yeah, it's almost in there. Looking good. Oh yeah. All right, guys, I got the nuts on here. I got Eric up inside the car holding the bolts. So we're gonna try to tighten these up. You ready? I'm on the back right from where you're sitting. Back right from where you're sitting. All right. The front one on the same side. Okay. Well, that worked, but my extension got hung up. Oh, I got it there. Sorry for all this camera work, guys. Trying to make this happen with one hand, trying to hold a light, hold a camera, and hold this thing right here. This thing, the impact. All right, the front one. I got it. But where did my socket go? There it is. All right, last one. I think that ought to be it, Eric. Yep, that's it. Hey, you ready to get down?
Yeah, it'd be nice if you'd let me down for a change. It'd be great.
All right, so you guys just saw the bottom. Here's how it looks from the inside. All I got to do now is weld all this up right here. I don't know if I'm gonna weld it solid or just do some stitch welds around it. I really don't know yet. I think either way will be fine. But that's it. We got to do the other side now. So what we're gonna do is just go ahead and knock that side out without the camera. Yeah, you guys just saw how it went on the passenger side, so there's really no reason to show you the driver's side. I'll show you guys what it looks like as soon as we get it done. And here's how the driver's side turned out. It's hard to see, I know, but you can see the reinforcement up in there. Let's check out the passenger side. All right, so the passenger side looks good as well. And I'll show you what the inside looks like. All right, so there's the passenger side ready to weld. And over here on the driver's side, we got it ready to weld. But we did have some rust to deal with up under here. This car is pretty old. And so we had some surface rust right here we had to grind out. And we ground some out right here. Just went ahead and put some primer over some of those areas. Might as well, while you're going, fix all the rust if it's got any. So we got all that took care of, and that's ready to weld. And now we got to get the upper torque boxes done, but it's the end of the day on Saturday. We tired, so we getting like old. I mean,
You're old.
We were young when these cars were new, and now they're like rusted out and got holes in them. So yeah, anyway, we tired. So what we're gonna do is wait till Monday evening, and we're gonna put the uppers in, and then I'll spend the rest of the week getting all this stuff welded and painted and start putting the suspension back together. So see you guys Monday night.
Peace.